This is a Secret Friend, written by Trin, SSJTrinity. Part 9 of Surrogate, the Director's Cut. The rating is teen and up audiences. No archive warnings apply. The category is general. The fandom is Malevolent the Podcast.
Additional tags. Just basic Kayne fuckery. Very mild but potentially disturbing emotional manipulation. Gaslighting an almost 4-year-old. Consider this an hors d'oeuvre. Voices by Jasper as Abhoth, Igneous as Kayne, CharliegoLightly as Ghroth, Fish as the Nameless Mist, Vmprsm as the Narrator and Faroe, SSJTrinity, Kraiva, and Somniate as the work introduction. Editing by Flamia. Directed by Vmprsm. Transcript by Saffron. Created and posted with permission from the authors of Surrogate, the Director's Cut.
Faroe knows they're fighting again. It's upsetting. Sounds like the perfect time for her new secret friend to make himself known.
Kayne is only a little bored. It's not dangerous yet. Not really. The metaphysical equivalent of floating around the party room, providing hors d'oeuvres to beings his level and somewhat greater, is entertaining enough, handing over tiny planets he's corrupted or entire species he's driven insane. Occasionally producing weird treasure thought up by some mortal and stolen. But really, all of that is the prelude. He's got them all watching his favorite show now, which is deeply gratifying. The only challenge is keeping them watching and not interfering.
All I'm saying.
Abhoth spraying ankle-height abominations with every syllable.
She might be more interesting with some cancerous growths.
No.
Kayne sounds far more patient than he feels.
That would just ratchet everything up in the wrong way. And it would make Arthur, John, and Haster work together. See, we don't want that. That's dull.
Oh.
Abhoth wouldn't have thought of that.
Subtlety of a Mack truck.
Kayne moves on. Ghroth is no fucking better.
Imagine the carnage if I caused the Dreamlands to erupt.
To erupt into what, oh maker of the doom of worlds?
Kayne does know how to play the game. Ghroth considers. It takes him a while.
Volcanoes.
Nah.
Kayne pats Ghroth's enormous eyeball self and moves on. Down below, John and Haster have gotten into a screaming fight while Arthur rocks, holding his head in his hands, which is dull until Haster's internal alarms go off and they know Faroe is on her way in with a basket of flowers and her horrible goat god in tow. And it is amusing to watch them all scramble to do the equivalent of smoothing hair back and straightening ties. And when Faroe is older, she'll know immediately that things were hardly as peaceful as projected. She's not quite there yet, so she smiles, tells them a nonsense story she made up as she hands out flowers and skips to her room. Everyone is sullen in her wake.
Curious.
Says the Nameless Mist, one of Kayne's siblings and one of the only beings he bothers actually respecting.
What do you intend to do?
Beyond ensuring these chuckle nuts don't get involved, well, I have a twist for the evening.
Kayne is, for once, not sarcastic.
Call it a mid-season surprise, a guest star.
Oh.
Says the Magnum Inominandum.
Who would that be?
You're about to find out after the ad break.
Faroe likes shallow baths. She does not like deep ones. She learned to swim under grave duress at her daddy's insistence, one of the few times her tears and wails did not move him. She's a very strong swimmer, thanks to him, but it scares her badly. She doesn't understand why. Shallow baths are fine. She can wash and use her cloth and get her hair clean under running water, but never putting her face under. And she can clean Nibbles, and focusing on her friend's weird hooves always helps. Not that Nibbles ever seems to need a bath, but that's not the point. Bath before bed. That is the rule. Faroe thinks water is alive. It feels bad to her. She tried to explain that to Daddy, but he couldn't quite get what she was saying. Water is not alive, he said, trying to explain chemicals to her and how it wasn't living and so could not be bad. But it was bad. She knew it was bad. Uncle Arthur understood, though. Somehow he did, and like he did with everything that scared her, he turned to music for a solution. One night, after she sniffled because she'd had to have a real bath, she'd fallen into some mud and it had gotten under her nails and in her hair, and it wasn't her fault. He played something beautiful, and it helped. He said it was called Clair de Lune and was about moonlight, but he always felt it was more like moonlight on water. He played, and he told her to think about moonlight dancing on black waves and how it could be beautiful and how she didn't have to go into it, but that it wasn't always bad. Something happened whenever Uncle Arthur played the piano. Passing deities stilled, monsters calmed in the walls, sentient plants peeked over the balconies to listen. Even the shriek birds, which she did not like, went quiet. And this piece, this moon piece, she liked it very much, even if it was one of the ones that made him cry. He cried a lot. She hadn't noticed it when she was little. She does now. She's not sure what it means. He seems to just do it all the time. It feels bad. She doesn't know why.
This is concerning.
That's how Daddy talks about his people when things aren't right.
I don't think he should cry so much. Do you? Yeah.
She decides the goat means, of course, you are correct, and gets out of her very shallow bath. She's big now and can get into bed on her own. She settles in under her sparkling white canopy, looks out her window at the velvet blue sky and enormous moon, and sighs. She's in bed. She's being good, but she's not sleepy. She can hear them yelling out there. Faroe is young, but not stupid. She knows they think she doesn't know they always argue.
I don't like it when they fight,
she tells Nibbles.
I agree, Faroe. It's downright rude, isn't it?
Hello?
Faroe sits up.
Mister?
Nibbles makes a questioning sound.
Shh. She can't hear me, little princess. Only you can. I'm your secretest friend.
Secretest?
Nibbles is slightly more concerned.
You can just think, sweetheart. I'll hear you.
Oh.
She thinks and lies back down.
I'm your secret friend. Everybody gets one when they're almost 4 years old.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Hi, secret friend.
Hi, Faroe.
The name triggers a memory, though she can't quite place it. A weird day, she remembers, but the nickname only brings good feelings, safe feelings, funny ones, amusing.
Did we meet before?
We sure did. We made friends before, on the day you met Uncle Arthur. Remember what a mess he was? Oh, poor guy. He just can't stop crying, can he? Pretty sad, if you ask me.
She ponders this. She has no idea what to do with this information.
But you're not secret. Everybody saw you.
Oh, no, sweet thing. They didn't. They were talking to each other.
Her brow knits. That's not quite what she remembers, but then it is fairly vague. It was a weird day, tiring, and she isn't quite sure. Besides, it's a grown-up voice. She remembers he was nice.
Okay.
You can call me Brother Kayne, okay? But here's the thing. You have to keep me a secret. Every time you tell someone about me, I get pushed farther away. Eventually, I could shout at the top of my lungs, and you wouldn't hear me ever again.
Well, that sounds terrible. Faroe wipes at her eyes. There is some reason that someone going away forever is bad. She can't really put it together.
Okay.
Our secret?
Our secret, Brother Kayne.
No, yeah, I can't do that. Just Kayne, okay?
Okay.
Grown-ups are strange.
Want to learn a trick?
Yes!
And Kayne teaches her a simple incantation. She speaks it aloud, opening herself to magic the way her daddy's been teaching her, and magic immediately happens. The canopy overhead fills with stars. The canopy is white, diaphanous, lovely. It shifts in the breeze from her window, and now stars float through it, a lazy and lovely rotation, and she made it happen all by herself. Nibbles bleats, then calms down. Maybe she likes stars too.
Wow!
What do we say for Ruffin?
She remembers that name now. It's a good name, a silly one. She liked him when they met.
Thank you.
Good girl. Now, go to sleep. You have a lot of growing to do.
Faroe watches the stars, tracing them, counting, until she finally falls asleep. Kayne bows to his audience.
Will this come up again? Will it matter? Am I a Chekhov's gun? Stay tuned.
I don't get it.
Philistine.
Kayne pats the enormous world-ending eyeball.
Go on now. Off you go.
Would Faroe keep the secret? He didn't know. If she didn't, he'd disappear. If she did, well. There were a lot of things he could teach a boring little girl on her way to becoming interesting. Things that could actually make her worth a spin-off once this all went to hell.
It's all about planting seeds.
Hypnos twitches and might or might not have comprehended what Kayne said, but probably not.
A smart little Shayla told me that some plants need to be babied. Have to say, I agree.
Hypnos looks blank.
Always boring when they're broken.
And he wanders away. There are plants to tend, after all, and victims to visit. And safe in Haster's castle, Faroe sleeps through further shouts about marks and ceremonies and owning, and dreams about singing stars.
If you enjoyed this production of Surrogate, the Director's Cut, please read the original written work on AO3, where it is still actively updating as of April 2024. A link is in the work notes, where you can also find the social medias of all the production cast. Malevolent was written and produced by Harlan Guthrie, and all characters depicted here belong to their respective creators. The cast and management produced this show for no monetary gain, and all rights remain with the authors. Any sound effects or music used in this production were obtained legally or are created by the production cast. Please let us know your thoughts, and as Kayne would say,
stay tuned for the next episode!